What is going on, warriors? This is your man Johnny F here, and in today's video, we're going to be running through how to start journaling for beginners and how to actually make it a habit. So you're going to want to stay tuned. Now, something I want to make absolutely clear is that I am by no means a professional journaler, whatever that means. I'm simply providing a buttload of insight and tips on what's actually worked for me. Someone who used to be so hard-headed about writing and journaling for my whole life until I eventually said,
"All right, I'm ready. Bring it on."
Over 1,000 pages and 2 years later of daily journaling, I can definitely say, this is a game changer. Which is why journaling is a must-have habit for anyone that wants to create major change in their lives, and an absolute must for my coaching clients. So I hope you know what you're about to get into. Do it first thing in the morning. Why? Because if you don't, then chances are that you likely won't do it at all. I know, I probably sound like a broken record here, especially if you've been seeing my other videos on developing habits or procrastination. But if you want to start a journaling habit, then I can only assume that this is something of great importance to you. And your morning is the time to put the important before the urgent. Doing what's most important to you and the future self that you're creating before the urgent and busy parts of our day kick in, such as work, school, family, and so on. If journaling is something that you've been procrastinating with starting, then you need to consider it what Brian Tracy calls your morning frog. This means eating the morning frog or doing what you procrastinate with the most first thing. And believe me, when you start applying this method to any habit you want to build, you'll wonder why you never did it before. In order to be consistent with journaling and reap all the benefits, you need to design your environment to make sure that there's the least amount of resistance, no friction. According to behavior scientist Dr. B.J. Fogg, design trumps willpower. What he means by this is that human behavior generally defaults to what's most convenient, to what's the easiest. For example, if you're cutting sugar out of your life but your house still has sugar in it, then you're going to need to utilize your willpower in order to say no to it. But if you removed it all from your house, then you're much more likely to succeed because you've designed your environment in the way that you don't actually have to use your precious willpower. Likewise, with a journaling habit, if you remove any small steps in decision-making in the moments leading up to the writing, then this drastically increases the rate of success of you actually doing it. Check this out for a moment. Which environment do you think would make it easier to journal? This one or this one? The answer should be obvious. And again, this is because there's basically zero friction. Zero excuses for your brain to say,
"I don't want to do it. Let's just start this tomorrow."
First things first, set this up the night before. Make your writing space inviting. Clear any clutter. Set your journal there. Get your pen ready, and even leaving the blank page open removes another small step. Sounds simple enough, right? Maybe ridiculous? Well, to you I ask, would you floss more often if the perfect piece of floss was laid out right by the sink? Just think about that for a moment. Now, you can even leave a glass of water out to avoid the need to go to the kitchen in the morning. This places everything in your favor towards actually doing it, making it very difficult to say no because the convenience of it all is completely present. So make sure to set it up the night before. And for a next level tip, make sure that there is nothing around to distract you. Place your phone on airplane mode the night before, and don't even think about taking it off until your journaling session is done. Personally, I suggest longer. I mean, you're going to be plugged into it for the rest of the day anyways. Forget everything you know about how journaling should be done. I know, easier said than done, but hear me out here for a moment. This is most important if you've tried to start a daily journaling habit but haven't kept up. This is your journal, no one else's. You write the rules here. Feel free to thought dump. Write about your challenges, your wins, what you're excited about creating, gratitudes, the future self you're creating. When you have this level of flexibility and you're not simply using it as a means to record the events of your life, your journal becomes much more dynamic. You become more flexible with it and actually desire to use it more often, resulting in reaping the benefits. This is only a tip if you find that thinking about your penmanship is slowing down the free-flowing thoughts. Since journaling is a practice that can be used to expand your imagination and get you into a peak state, the last thing you want to be doing is concerning yourself with how neat it is. If you can't read a small percentage of it, then don't worry about it. The point here is to create the journaling habit to reap the greatest benefits into your life. Thus, we need to remove any aspect that may be creating friction between you and maintaining or building this as a habit. Think about it. If you have to stop and slow down your process of journaling flow, then it can start to feel more like an actual chore, something that you have to do instead of something that you get to do, which of course will likely lead to you quitting. Okay, so I know that we're not all challenged in the same way when it comes to journaling, but when I was new at this, I had the hardest time with starting off a page, being filled with thoughts of, this is stupid. I have no idea what I'm doing. What the am I supposed to write? And if you've ever felt something similar, then let me know by hitting that like button and typing same here in the comments. Don't let me be alone on this. Anyways, probably the easiest way to open up a journaling session is with the line, I am so happy and grateful for. Because no matter where you're at in life, if you're part of the world's population that actually has the ability to watch this video with an internet connection, then I'm sure you can find a handful of things to express gratitude for. Besides, if you don't like doing this, then you probably need to express gratitude more often. I mean, research shows that gratitude releases feel-good neurotransmitters in the brain that make you not only feel good, but actually change the structure of your brain in positive ways. Useless fact? I think not. With starting any new habits, it's best to avoid lengthy sessions. This further helps us to build momentum with the new habit, but even more important, as mentioned before, you never want this to feel like a chore. Oh shit, that rhymed. Yeah. Remember, journaling is something that you get to do, something that's helping you to create a foundation for your next level self. We never want this to feel like something that we have to do. Now, of course, you can write to your heart's content. I'm just speaking from my own personal experience where I wrote 3 pages my first 2 days in a row and then completely avoided it for 2 weeks. So keeping it short could really help with sustainability as you build the habit. Just find the sweet spot. This could be a single page, a paragraph, or even a sentence. And while this may seem silly, this is about breaking it down into the simplest level so that your mind doesn't feel like it's a chore when you're new to it. Now there's one more tip here, the final push to set the keystone in place. Start right now. Seriously, pull out your journal and jot down what you thought about this video, what you loved, what you hated. Get your mind in motion and finish this short journaling session with a declaration, a commitment to start a 30-day journaling challenge. Are you ready? Then let us know in the comments by typing, I'm in. Come on, it's an easy challenge. You can thank me later. Anyway, thank you so much for the support, guys. Make sure you subscribe for all future videos and never stop growing, warriors.